there is a hidden pattern inside your past sexual experiences. And once you know how to see this, getting rock hard erections becomes a lot easier. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to spot that pattern. Now, this process may seem boring, though I have used it successfully with hundreds of guys around the world to bring back their erections. It works. Okay, so I want you to think back to a past sexual experience where things went to plan. This does not have to be the best sex of your life, just a moment that felt memorable, where you were connected. Once you found that, it's helpful to give it a name. For example, in California with Julia. Now here's the boring part, which is not actually boring because you get rock hard erections as a result. The first scene that we're going to look at is the day itself. If you can grab a pen and paper, this will help. So I want you to think, what was actually happening before intimacy started, specific to that memory? So for example, had you worked out that day? Or perhaps you'd had dinner together. Maybe you'd been out for a date. So think back as best as you can to what you were doing that day. And I want you to write down now 3 to 5 bullet points. This does not need to be the perfect details, but 3 to 5 bullet points on what you were doing the day of that memory. And once you have that, keep that list ready to hand. Now, the second scene we're going to look at is communication. So I want you to take that same memory and now write down 3 to 5 bullet points on the type of communication between you both during that day. So were you laughing together? Did things feel light? What type of conversations did you remember having? And when it moved into intimacy, how were the conversations there? For example, did you communicate about sex or share what felt good? So 3 to 5 bullet points, just focused on that day, and you might already be starting to notice something. Now let's move on to the final scene. If you are with me still, you're doing great because you have just reached the most important scene of all of them. This one is about what your body was actually feeling. So taking that same memory, I'd like you to write 3 to 5 bullet points. I know you're thinking, oh my God, how many bullet points do I have to write? This is the last set, I promise. 3 to 5 bullet points on the senses that felt most alive in that memory. For example, what do you remember about touch or sexual sounds? What sexy things do you remember seeing? Perhaps there was some music playing in the background or time spent cuddling, kissing, holding each other, building up to intimacy. So get those 3 to 5 bullet points down now, specific to that moment of intimacy. What you have now got in front of you across all of these 3 scenes is more important than you might realize. And I need to tell you something. Your problem is not broken equipment. The bullet points you've just written are clues. To make this very obvious, we're going to look at the opposites of each of these scenarios. I want you to see as we go through this, if this feels familiar. So the first scene we spoke about, the day of. You may have written something like, I felt relaxed, I worked out, it was low pressure, or we spent the day together. So the opposite would be something like, I had a really stressful day, I felt like I was overthinking, or I expected myself just to go straight into intimacy without any build-up. Now communication. The opposite of that would be something like, low or no sexual communication. I couldn't even tell if the person was enjoying it. Or I just wanted to get it over and done with, hoping that it goes to plan. And then the final scene, instead of feeling, hearing and seeing, the opposite would be something like evaluating, worrying or overthinking. So let me ask you an important question now. Does this sound similar to how you are currently having sex? With self-pressure, getting it over and done with, or overthinking. In contrast, the memory that you wrote down is showing you something critical. That your body already knows how to get rock hard erections. And these, what you wrote, these are the conditions that let it. A huge mistake that I see guys make in sex is trying to create this romance movie, but with the setup of all of these opposites, and it's exactly why they're struggling to stay hard. Next time you know intimacy is happening, look at what you have written and implement just 1 or 2 of your bullet points. Now, if you want to stop the constant loop of being stuck in your head overthinking, watch this video next.